It is Friday, January 12th. PPI data released this morning. We had a gap up from the news here at 8:30, and it has peaked above yesterday's open. It struggled to get above this line in the pre-market, and at the end of the day yesterday, market did a complete round trip yesterday and ended pretty flat after a pretty large dip down all the way back up. Now it's poking its head above the opening line from yesterday. Yesterday's highs up here when the market opens. These new lines will be drawn for today, but obviously here's the high, here's the low, midpoint somewhere in here. Today I really got to work on holding my winners. In fact, I'm going to stop setting bracket orders. I'm going to stop setting profit targets. I'm going to set a stop and let them run. I expect to get stopped out possibly more or break even more. But I'm really going to add, like for example, yesterday, some trades I took got stopped out here because I thought after this opening drive off of the opening line, we would bounce right here in the middle of this little range. Got stopped out short here. Came back down here, took a sell. Took a sell after a break of this swing here, and I got just a few points of profit. And then it bounced back up. We had a little bit of a flag pattern here, if you're into that sort of thing. Expecting the pump and dump, the pop and drop right up here to the 50 EMA. I got in at the top ticked it, and look what would have happened if I held. I mean, there's no crystal ball, so there's no way I was going to get this entire move, but dear Lord. So I only got, I got filled here on a cover, and then I had a runner that got filled to the bottom of the range. And that's fine, that actually put me in the green on the day, but I mean, imagine if I held here. Now again, no crystal ball, and if I didn't, let's say I got out break even, or let's say this popped down and came back up, I could have got out break even or maybe small profit, but look at this. I mean, so then I got another small winner here. That was a scalp. I mean, to be honest, after these two moves, I just started experimenting. You can see all these small micro trades in here. I was experimenting with range trading. Very hard to do. Even if you know the ends. I was trying to trade up into the range and down into the range. Then we had a small trend form here. Again, I was experimenting with some micro scalps here. We came down. The only other trade that I did that was according to plan was this one here. We had a bounce, push up through both EMAs, a bounce off the 200 EMA, and I took this in between this swing, expecting a pop up. We got it. And to be honest with you, at this point I was planning on holding. I had no take profit set, and I had something come up. Well, something that didn't come up, it was scheduled. So I had to step away from the computer. So I just sold it. Sold it for a profit, and that's good and everything. But I had intended on holding this, and I mean, look at this. Another one. Two moves that I nearly top and bottom ticked that would have been huge. So today I really got to focus. I called the moves correctly, and even if I had some small losses in here, both of those moves would have put me well ahead on the day. So that's the goal for today. Market opening here. It is pushing up on the open, pushing up to yesterday's highs. As soon as the market opens here in 7 seconds, lines will be drawn. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low, yesterday's midpoint. The current open, which is here. Here's the opening line. Here's the high. Here's the close. We can see that the opening and the close were not too far away. So we're pushing down right on the open. So the other lines I'll draw. I'll kind of draw a zone from prior low and yesterday's low, which these two lows combined will form this sort of zone. You can draw a zone here. The midpoint of yesterday and the midpoint of prior are pretty much right on line. So this is the midpoint of the last 2 days of moves. So price has kind of been consolidating the last 2 days, even though we've had large swings. Market pretty flat. A lot of range, good to trade. I love days like that. And here's the current high. After that, the next high here, I deleted it this morning, but I'll put it back. It's around here, which is all-time high. I mean, it's right under all-time high. Okay, so we've got the first little swings have been formed on the day. Got a double bottom perhaps. See if it can push down. It's slightly pushing down. See if we can get a push down of the EMA, maybe a bounce off, and then look to see if the market establishes a direction off of this first bounce. Okay, we are pushing lower. Potential opening channel. We'll draw it just to see what happens, see what's respected. Okay, it's pushing down, no channel. Still good bounce, but looking for a bounce up off the EMA here, which is also very close to yesterday's closing line. Wouldn't be surprised to see some reaction off of this. Okay, market pausing, thinking about what it wants to do. Bears trying to sell. Okay, buyer stepping in. We've broken small microstructure. I don't really care about those. These little candlestick patterns. I'm looking at these swings. This is the pivot indicator. Set to a 0.09% move. That's about 58 ticks on the MNQ or the NQ. So a new leg forms if price reverts and retraces 58 ticks. It just gives a nice little visual. I chose that number just based on experimentation so far. That could change in the future, of course. Volatility changes, etc. But right now, to me, it's a pretty good swing indicator, swing number. I've removed ATR from my charts because it's like I was using the 1 period and you could look at the cluster of ATR, but I mean, come on, you're looking at the, you can tell what the 1 period ATR is. You can measure it, you can look at the candles. I don't need the clutter on the charts. Okay, another swing being formed here, pushing down low. I'm not going to take. You could have gotten this here based on my setup, but it's hard to get those on the opening because whipsaws can happen on the open, anything can happen on the open. So a few minutes here to let this establish. Plus we're kind of sandwiched in between the pre-market, the opening line and the pre-market high, which is also yesterday's close. We've got the EMA here, so there's a lot of balance. Buyers and sellers living together. Everybody's happy. Big solid bodied bull candle here. Potential double top. Okay, we peeked our head above the swing. Could have a potential of an upwards channel forming. Looks like it's breaking out. Coming back up to the open, we'll see if it wants to break the opening, drive higher. Testing. Get rid of this channel here. Tight range to open here. Back up to where we started. Break, peeking its head above the opening line. We'll see if bears want this to be a red day after yesterday's round tripper. If we get a push up through here, up to the high, look for a retracement. We'll look to start going long here. So we've poked our head above. This is a new high of day at the opening line. See if we get a retrace. We get a retracement back down in this area and then a pop back up. I'm going to look to go long. I'm going to do a I'm going to just do one contract with the goal of adding, if the situation calls for it, I'll set one stop. Okay, so it didn't pull back up enough for me to take a long, so this is going to go off without me. If it goes and tests the high, that's okay. Nice solid body candle there, so we might get a push up. See what the bears have to say about this. Okay, so after the pop above the high, kind of muted, more balance here. And it's not like the volume is low. The volume is pretty good. 30-second candle, 15-second, 30-second candle, 30-second candle. So there is buying and selling happening. It's just one side doesn't want to give yet. Okay, here we come back down after failing a break. Question mark? Are we gonna fail the break? Oh, if we fail the break above the high, look to see how much retracement we get. Okay, still muted here. Still some tight consolidation. at the break. Okay, here comes some buying. Bye, bye, bye. Sellers still selling into this buying. Okay. We did get the push above the little tight zone. Really unenthusiastic though. Okay, here we go. Buyers taking control. Okay, pretty harsh rejection there. Pretty boring, slow grind up. Sellers did try to sell. We don't have a lot of movement. We haven't even had enough movement for another retracement. Another swing to be formed. Okay, here we go. That's all you get to do is say something, complain about it. Pushing up into yesterday's high. Okay, here we are. We made it to yesterday's high. Let's see what happens. So far, no pullback after this opening drive higher. Okay, here's the start. A little bit of selling going on here. Dirty tick. Huh. Alright. Reaction off yesterday's high. Okay, finally some sort of a pullback. We're right in line with 0.09, but okay, so we did form a swing, and after that swing, right at that swing, almost the bottom tick of the swing, did we get a reaction? It's funny. Swing formed and a push up. See if this is going to double top or if this is going to continue. From high to high, we've got 237, about 59 points, which isn't really that big, so wouldn't be surprised if we go for it. Okay, some volume here. Volume picked up and it's not budging one way or the other. Sellers are trying. Okay, so it took 11 minutes, 12 minutes for another swing to be formed. A retest of the opening, top end of this, and the EMA would be really nice. Pretty good setup there. Okay, another swing formed. See if we're just gonna be balanced. So we've got a double top, potentially a double bottom. Middle of the range. "40-second candle, 27-second candle, 1-minute candle." Volume dying a little bit here. Some inside bars. Okay, got a break below structure here. Coming back, let's see if we can test the EMA, test the open, and get a little bit of push back. I would like to see it push down a little more and form another swing before trying to go for that high again. What I would like to see here, okay, it is pushing down. Okay, and it's pushing up, but it didn't pull back up enough. I wanted to see that test of the opening line. New swing form. Let's see if it'll form a down channel or if it'll pop. Okay, another swing. Is this swing gonna continue lower and break the prior swing, or is this gonna be start of a new upswing? I would like to see a little bit lower myself. Okay, we did flirt with breaking it lower. We've ticked below, very close to the EMA. Still want to see it a little lower. Okay, there we go, going lower, and now I want to see reaction off the opening line. Tick below. If we push below it, we can start looking to see if maybe this is gonna be a day that the bears try harder. Some range in here that we can look at. It is pushing below. See if we get a pullback and a retest of the underside. Solid push below. See if we can get some retracement. Alright, bears really barren. So if this keeps up, we're gonna look for cells underneath the opening line here, but we need a pullback. Ooh, really strong push all the way down to the 200 EMA, and yesterday's close. Solid through yesterday's close. Big sell-off here. Wow, okay. Massive sell-off. My word. What's the next thing? Midpoint of the range yesterday is the next area of interest. We do have a bunch of noise here at the end of the market and during the pre-market that it could chop around here in, but hard to get anything this morning. Okay, here is a swing. Here's an attempt to pull up. Okay, pushing up again past the underside of the 200 EMA. We'll see how much retracement we get. This is a big enough move that you're kind of interested in the 50% mark, which would be back up towards that EMA. Alright, we're going to get a short in there. We're going to set our stop above this swing. One tick above. And we're not going to set a take profit. I'm going to look to add if more swings come. And if not... Okay, another swing was formed low. If another swing gets higher... There is a lot of volume here. It's okay. I'm gonna look for a push down here, another retrace. We'll add if it pulls back. Okay, we've double bottomed. Okay, nice push down. Solid push down. See if we get a pullback and then we start to go again. Start to push solidly down again. Ooh, really big bull candle in response. Okay, we've got another swing formed. If this forms another swing lower, we're going to add to the position. And if this whipsaws, then we're out, which is good. The kitty approved. Kitty approved. Certainly acting like I'm gonna get stopped out, but we do. Even if we do, I'm still looking for shorts as long as it stays under the open and under these EMAs. Got a resting order here for a fill on an ad, which would be if it forms a new leg. Actually, it's going to be right below this candle. Certainly not looking good for that though. Looks like we're going to get stopped. There it is. Come on. Just stop me out already. We've ticked it, but we one ticked it, but I actually should have already got stopped. I had my stop placed at 2 ticks and not 1. Alright, there we go. 1 loss in the day. That's okay. Okay, here we have a push up. Still looking for shorts. See what happens here on the on this retest of the 50 EMA. And up to the 50% of the range. We'll see if sellers will defend the halfway mark of that large sell-off here. That was 333 ticks, and then to the low 366 ticks. There's actually, I mean, there's room here for a very small short-term scalp to the upside, back up to the 50. If it doesn't go, it looks like it's going. Here's the EMA test. Okay. Ticked in the EMA. Here comes the 50% test. See if we can get some reversion. Okay, here's the 50%. Expect some reaction. Ticking above it. Solidly through it. Back up to the opening. Are buyers saying we want to buy? Gonna get a big old V-shaped reversal. Possibly. That would be madness if that does happen. I would be looking to go long above the opening line. Okay, here we go. Back above. I'm actually not looking to short. Because we're above the 50 and we're above the EMAs, it would have had to have stayed below here to maintain my shorts. So if it's gonna form another swing and then look to push higher, then we're gonna go long. If we push back down under the 50, form another swing lower, then we go short. Easy, right? Easy. Free money. Surely. Okay, flirting with below the 50, flirting with another retest. We do have a swing. It's being formed. We'll see if this pop forms a swing up or down. This continues down, then I'm not going to go long yet because we have the opening line there to contend with. Looks like it does want to go up. Really a lot of volume coming in here. It pops up above these highs, it'll form another swing. Bouncing around in the 50% retrace. area. Let's see if it pushes below this EMA. It has ticked below the EMA. See if we get a push up from here. Pushing back down towards the 200. We get, okay, now shorts are back on the table. Need a little bit of a pullback though. That doesn't breach this high. Pushing solidly down. Sellers trying to defend the 50. Need a pullback. Coming all the way down to retest the high end of this range. If I were to have drawn, oops. If I were to have drawn it here instead, it only moves it a few ticks, not a big deal. Okay. Coming down to the 200 EMA, which is also the top side of this range. Shooting through it. Looking for a pullback. Pullback from here. I really want to write a script that trails the pullbacks. Pullback would need to come up to here. Alright, really big defense here. Okay, the midpoint of this range right here. Big reaction. See if we can react up somewhere in between the EMAs. Still, shorts are the focus right now. Here is a big reaction. See if we get enough to form a swing. Swing would be formed right at this top tick. Should have already been formed. My script would consider that a swing because it hit the 0.9, but the indicator in quant tower I think needs to it's probably a rounding issue. 15.0 and it hit 15. Like the spread, it must use not the last. It must use the spread of the one tick. I think the bid has to get through it. Okay, we're on the verge of another swing. It should have formed. Yeah, the fact that it's not forming, does it have to get to... There it is. Very weird. Okay, coming up past the EMAs, looking for a swing low. Shorts are on the table. With the expectation we break low a day. We've come into this range, we've broken up above this high. Comes the underside test of the 50 EMA. Here's the test. Same as yesterday, same as the last time it did this though. If it pushes up through, then shorts are off the table. Okay, there was a reaction. Reversion from this high back down through this EMA. We're looking short, looking to break the lower day. Okay, we're short. Stop above this swing. No profit target. Mental profit target is the midpoint of yesterday's range. We'll look to add to the position if more swings form downwards. Looking at, okay, we've broken through the low. It's a good sign. Flirting back with the low of the day. I'm gonna get rid of this. We can get a pullback and another push down lower to emphatically break the lows. That would be fantastic. We'll go all the way. Looking to hopefully go somewhere down here. Here's a push back up. Stop still in a good spot. Okay, bears are really bearing. Okay, further push down, flirting with the low of the day. There's the low of the day break. Looking to add on a retrace. Stop still staying where it is. There's a 70 tick. 70 tick, so we were at the low of 110 tick. Okay, now even more. It's way more. It's more than a 1-to-1 at this point. But so it would be a good take profit. But I really want to practice and test holding until there's a signal of a reversion. That means more of these structure breaks to the upside. And if we don't get that, we stay. But there's a potential to leave profit on the table, but there's also a potential to make even more. Now, these large candles here at the bottom are interesting, but we're going to collect the data. We're going to stay the course. We're still looking to add to this position on a retracement. I'm going to try and practice adding to the winners. Okay, here is another swing formed. Ooh, it's a hard swing. That's okay. We stay the course. And we're going to add if this pushes down and forms another swing. I'm going to add to this position. And still pushing up. Back into our entry. That's okay. Still not going to get out break even. Trade's thesis still intact. Didn't form, wow. It must have wicked out of it. So I'm gonna put a resting sell order here for an ad. A stop order. Alright, we tried to add to the winner, but it doesn't look like it's gonna work out, but that's okay. I'm gonna break the high. Yeah. So that's another small loss. That was actually a smaller loss than the first loss. Because that's okay. I was good at it. We went according to plan. I'm just going to keep doing this and see how it works over time. I mean, I'm still technically short even though this is breaking structure here. Something. Something like that. Here it comes. Pop up. EMA test. If it breaks this high, then we're back in the bulls. We're back in the buy game. Doesn't break the high and it pushes back down, we're back in the sell game. Okay, we're pushing down. If we form a swing lower, I'm still in shorts, even though this... We had a small structure back to the upside. We could just chop in here. Yeah, so we had greater than a 1-to-1 trade there that we left on the table. But okay, here it is. We're back in short. Top above the high. Same plan. Looking for a breakdown. Pop back up. And I'm gonna add. I'm just gonna keep doing it and see how it works over time, even if we lose. See if the winners can eventually make up for the losers. Like, the trade I left on the table right there would have made up for the earlier loss. And that's fine, but I still want to do... Okay, this is good. If it breaks this lows, even better. Even if it doesn't break the lows, if it doesn't break this high, comes back up, tests the underside of the EMAs, pops back down, we're adding. Here's the pop. Oh, it's a strong pop. New leg should be formed here. Why didn't it form? This zigzag indicator is... It should have formed. It's so weird, man. I gotta write my own zigzag. Or I changed the swing to 0.8. I changed the swing to 0.8. It wouldn't even have formed at 0.8. What? That makes no sense. Oh, man, that's a weird zigzag indicator, bro. Bruh. What do I have to, what would I have had to have set it out for that to form? Okay, now it formed at 0.9. It looked like it was like 0.7. Okay, pop. I'm looking for another leg down. It's popping up. Might be one of those days, man. Looks like it's gonna be a reversal from this bottom, I think. Nope. Spoke too soon. We're adding if we get another leg. We're adding. Back down through our entry. Let's see if our entry acts as resistance or support. Oh, here we go. Come in. Come in. Oh, yeah. Our entry is support. That's always the case. My entries are great support levels. Yep. It is. I'm gonna sell a trading strategy to somebody where I just give them my entries and they use them as support. To make a lot of money. Yeah, we're gonna get stopped again. Wow, alright, bulls are back on the table. I would have been out for the day. I think I would have stopped trading by now, but now we're looking to get back into buys. So the reversal, so this up, get rid of this. So this this one would have been the one to add, and the add would have worked. So you take it here, you add here, you would have had a good one. But how do you know? You know, no crystal ball. We were still below the open. We were flirting below the EMAs. I'd say, I mean, these were fine trades. It just didn't go the way. So I probably would have called it. Like, this was my live account, I would have called it. This is three losses in a row would have been the end of the day. But we're gonna keep going as a test, as a data collection point of view. We're looking at longs. If we get a pullback and a push up back to the open, that's what we're looking at. And it's not like we got whipsawed out. We just sold into this uptrend, but okay, here's a pullback. Swing formed. We get a swing up, we're going long. Deeper pullback, testing the EMA. Okay, deeper pullback. And for a kitty approved. Okay, here comes a pop. No, pop says no. We have to go somewhere up into here. Here it comes. Oh, I got in too early, but okay. Got in too early. Hopefully the swing forms. If it doesn't, big mistake. I jumped the gun. If the swing does form, I'll just say, oh, it was so good of an entry. Form the swing, and even if I get stopped out, it'll make me feel better. It still didn't form the swing it should have. That's so annoying. 0.9 is right there. It's wicking out of it. There zigzag does a rounding thing. Okay, it's really consolidating tight in here. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Looking for a pop-up to the open. Looks like it's just going to range below the open today. Okay, there's the stop out. So yeah, I jumped the gun. I'm still looking long here. Another if we get the pop up. But yeah, this is, I mean, trading when it's flip-flopping between the EMAs. We need to push above these EMAs here. Still looking to get in. If you break down below this low, then shorts are back on the table. Alright, looks like shorts are back on the table. Looking for a pop-up. Here's a pop. Come on, pop a little more. There it is. Swing formed. See if it stays below the EMAs. Looking to get short. Won't jump the gun this time, I hope. Okay, continue to pop up. Back up through the EMA. What a fucking weird ass day, dude. This consolidation, holy shit. Well, I think we're gonna flip biases yet again here in a second. Yeah. Longs are back on the table. This is all around yesterday's close. Here's the swing. Alright, we're gonna go short. Same plan. We hold. I'm gonna look for some new swings to form. We add. This is the old head and shoulders maybe right here. Okay, it's broken the low. 50 ticks of profit. We've already left 120 ticks of profit on the table, but that's okay. We're looking for the low break, maybe a little reaction pullback. Don't want to break this high. Double bottom on the low. Another 96 ticks of profit potentially left on the table. It's okay. We're really gonna stick to the strat. Comes the pop up. Swing was formed. If the swing is formed lower, we will add. Back up to my entry, which should act as a resistance or support on the way back up, which is what it's been doing all morning. Pop up all the way back. Huge pop. Yeah, this. I think you really got to recognize the category of the day and how the market is acting. And I think I should have just taken those two profits. The first one was hard to know. This one though, because it's already happened to me 3 times. Kitty approved. Yeah, V-shaped reversal. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's one of those days. I wouldn't have traded this in a live account. I would have already been done because of what already happened, but I mean, if I'm gonna add again, if this forms another leg, it is what it is. I'm just gonna stick to it just to see what happens with the numbers. It should be soon here. Coming. Not gonna jump the gun. There it is. We adding. What? I don't want. Why did it do that? Because I have to do the adjust stop loss. Where is the adjust? Oh, there it is. If I get stopped, I'm actually gonna go in opposite position. Reverse position. Stop below. Why is it? Oh, reverse, because I had already added. Whipsawed out. What a fucking morning. Holy shit. I mean, I wouldn't be still trading, but I'm just going to keep going for not one winner on the day. Whipsawed out here. I would have got whipsawed out. Wait, see what I got in here. If I maintained my stop above this, I wouldn't have got out, but yeah, look at these whipsaw. This is just junk. So based on what's been going on, if we break the lows, we buy. It's based on how this morning is going. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. We break these lows, I'm buying. Here it comes, we break. Buy. And if we form a swing, we add. It's probably going to go now, and this trade where I reversed would have been another big winner. Just the timing. Right idea, wrong timing. Okay. If we form a swing, I'll put the stop below it. Actually, I should already put the stop below it because this is really risky what I'm doing here. Of course, the time where I'm like, oh, this has been happening to me all morning, so I'll just do it. It won't work. It's just the way trading works for me today, or ever, all time. Here it comes. Here comes the stop. There it is. It's going to go all the way down to here, which is where I originally planned to get out. The way things work. Here comes the pop. comes the push all the way down. So I would have had to have been more loose. I would have had to have maintained. So I had this as my stop. Pushed down, came back. Looked to add here. It just whipsawed out of this small movement. That's what got me out. If I had maintained my stop here, I could have added and it would have still been in, and I think I would only get out if this forms another leg. That would have been the plan anyway, so I don't know. It did pretty much defend the 50% here. Popped above, came back, retest here. Whatever. I'm gonna end stream here soon because I wouldn't be trading this on a lot of account. I'm already been out after 3 losses in a row, so. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna call it here. No point documenting. Further, when I'm not, it wouldn't be real trades. I might continue experimenting, but so basically, see what happened here today. We had a sell-off, some consolidation in the open, rejection of yesterday's high, sell-off through the open, bounce off of the 200 EMA. We tried to get short, didn't work. Covered at the top of this high, came back up to the open, didn't quite get there, under the 50 EMA, bounce. We looked to get short here. It was a good entry. It did break these lows, but we're practicing holding, so we came up here, bounced, tried to add here because of this bounce, but it formed a new high, lower low, got out here, small. This was a small loss, this was a smaller loss. So then since we covered here at the top, I don't know what this is. Which one was this? That buy? I think this is the one I fat fingered. Oops. What? I don't want that. Why is it showing me this? Thank you. Okay, so then we came in, formed a lower high. We got in another good entry. It popped below, pulled back up. Stop loss was here, but since it formed another swing, we added, got whipsawed out. Stop was then above this level. It did eventually continue down, and here I think is where we would have gotten out. But since this is now forming a new swing, I'm actually gonna like to get short again if it forms. So I'll wait for this to play out before I end. Definitely some profits left on the table, but I really want to practice holding. but this was not the day really that you could hold. The only way to hold is to really be wide with your stop. Theses were correct though. It is under the open, was under the EMA, but just these small stair steps. Tested the 50 EMA. Haven't got quite down to the midpoint. See if we form another swing. That's another thing to consider. Is moving this a point. Hello? Would have kept me in this, but it's really hard to say. It's really close. Pushing up. Just want to look at yesterday with this. Yesterday was great. How many ticks is 0.1 thereabouts? 68, 71-ish, depending on how they round it. 65, 65, 71. There it is. A little bit more of a push would be good because 0.1 from there was double top. Okay. I'm looking for a continuation to the upside, to be honest, even though this is trending down. Coming. There it is. That was a 0.1 and not a 0.09. It's not going to work because that's just the name of the day today. Everything I do is wrong today, but this is going to be it. Double top. Push up through. It's a good sign. We're going to hold. Pullbacks are okay. up past the close again. Yesterday's close. Looking for at least the open here. We've already bounced off down past the 50. We're going to look up for a bit of this move. We're looking for a break through it up into here. Still looking to add to a position on a pullback. Retracing the top side of the EMAs, perhaps. $72 ticks, 70 again, leaving potential profit on the table here. But still part of the experiment, and if it doesn't work over the long term, or at least successive days and weeks, then we don't do it. Then we start looking to maybe cut the profit and then get back in, stuff like that. Is adding the winners or taking profit when it looks like it's reversing and getting back in is like very similar. I don't know. We'll see. Looking for a pullback to add. 80 ticks. 82 ticks. Profit left on the table. This is bigger than a 1-to-1 at this point, this trade. And because it is, I'm tempted to take profit. It's coming up to the top of this. Another 105 ticks possibly left in profit here. So we're at like 70 tick drawdown. We've already breached 70 tick 1-to-1. We get up to 111. So better than a 1-to-1 trade there, but looking for a retrace, looking for the opening. Broken out of this channel. It wasn't really a channel. But here's a pullback. Not quite enough. Me to add. Okay, here comes the deeper pullback. Let's see if we test the closing line in the EMA. Still not enough of a pullback to form a swing. here. That's okay. Okay, that pullback wasn't enough to cause swing. It was really close. Kind of waked off of it. Yeah. This is a rounding. It's okay. So no add, but we're back at 110 ticks on the table. 120 ticks. All right, at this point, I'm gonna take it. That was like 1/4 of my losers. It would have been a better day had I used 0.1 for the zigzag and 0.9, but that's just one day, you know, that it might be better to do that and have less noise. So we'll do that for now. Now this might go all the way up, which is fine. I'll get back in on a pullback still, which would be like adding, and you know, here's more profit left on the table, but bigger than a 1 to, like, let's say 70 tick, or even like a 68 tick, almost a 1 to 2. Right, a little under a 1 to 2, more than a 1.5, so good trade, but I still kind of wanted to add to the winners. At least finally one winner on the day, Jesus.
Okay, here comes a pullback. Still look to get back in. Long still on the table, I think. Okay, here's a pullback. That was enough to take. We push up. From this bottom currently, be close to a double top, but that's okay. Okay, it's getting bought up. Place the old resting order here in anticipation. And if it keeps pushing lower, we'll adjust. Well, it got boring all of a sudden. Still looking. This would have been like adding to my initial trade, which was here. And then stop loss would have been here. Assuming this swing forms, which it's trying. Oh, okay, so this, I would have already got in. I'll just let this order sit. Here it goes. Okay, stop loss, almost. Almost stop loss. So that would have been an add, but instead I took a profit up here. Almost to the top. That was a good TP, I'd say. And now we're getting back in. But if a new guy forms here, is above the TP. I do want to look more into this Quantower API. The documentation is pretty bad and C# is weird. But if I could do an order placing strategy that automatically does this for me, that would be sweet. See if it's gonna double top here or not. Hopefully not. Double tops are definitely the killer of this strategy. And whipsaws, of course, but the whipsaw is the killer to like all strategies. Unless you formulate a whipsaw strategy. So this is going to either be a double top or a whipsaw. $76 ticks. It's about a 1-to-1 to the open. But this This would maybe have been part of the same trade with the ad. Another pullback. Looks like a potential swing being formed. See, where would that be? Somewhere right down here. And it's close to a double top. We really didn't wick above it, so see what happens. Swing formed. Now let's see if we get stopped. It's looking like it. Potential ad coming here. This looks like we might have a range developing. So this is a dangerous ad, but I'm going to do it as an experiment if it forms. Let's form around close to the top. Still looking for a pop up to the open, possibly this high. I bet you after I get stopped, it'll pump. It's really close to the EMA. Here's the stop out. Here's the EMA. Here's the dip below. The first, no, second double top with the 0.1. We had double tops with the 0.9. I'm still looking long here. Might not be looking long anymore. Nope. Broke a low. Just solid range in here. Whipping through the EMAs. Just not a friendly day. There's some opportunities. I left a lot of ticks on the table trying to hold and add. Pull back. See if my entry access support. There we go. Whoops. Unbelievable. All right, shutting down.